because it's a mystery topic to me. Like you said, here's the name.
Did you look him up at all?
I did not look him up, so it's
All right, so
totally
I'm gonna be telling you about him.
yeah,
It's gonna be wild.
yeah.
Counter to intelligence.
Welcome to Counter to Intelligence. I'm Ken, and with me is the amazing Tom.
Trying to be amazing, and I'm excited about today's episode. I'm ready to debunk all the bunk. We'll see how it goes.
Well, if you can debunk this stuff, that'd be amazing. Because the more I read, this guy was involved in so much stuff. I mean, it's like wild. But so I guess we should get right to who this guy is.
Yeah, this
And
is
all
a
right,
mystery one. This is a
yeah,
mystery one for me. I
yeah.
did not
So
look him up.
yeah, it's one that I tried to look around for other podcasts about him and other shows about him, and there's very few. I mean, I found a couple, but like I said, I had watched the documentary, and he was mentioned, and as kind of being a big deal to this. And then they kind of mentioned, oh, and he kind of dabbled here, 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 and here. And it was other high profile things that I was like, holy crap, that's they should have the whole documentary could have been about him. Maybe these people eventually are going to do one all about him, but we're going to strike before them and get into it. And who is this guy? His name is Dr. And I'll probably mispronounce his middle name, but it's Dr. Louis Jolyon West, and he was known as Jolly West, which is ironic. Um, so he was known like his friends called him Jolly. So because I guess because his middle name is Jolyon, so I think it's Jolyon.
Okay.
So I mean that's my best case pronunciation of him. Now, who was this guy? First and foremost, he was a psychiatrist. All right, and uh, a pretty well known one. Now, at that, you're like, okay, psychiatrist in like the 1950s, 1960s. Okay, all right. But, and this is where it starts getting nuts. He was hired and worked for the CIA
Wow.
and was heavily involved in MKUltra, which do you know about MKUltra?
I've heard of it. I don't know about it.
Okay, it's kind of it's one of these things. MKUltra, they did all these like psychological tests on people where they tried to get them do mind control. They used LSD, they used psychiatry, they used hypnosis to try and control people to get them to go do things for them and see if they could. Basically, the idea was it's kind of a Manchurian candidate, where you would get someone to do something for you and then they would forget that they had done it.
Oh, that's weird.
And so it's almost like the perfect assassin because you could get somebody like you, Tom, to go do something that was completely out of character and
Right.
then you would not remember it and you wouldn't and people like Tom wouldn't go take out 90 people with a slingshot, but whatever,
Right.
so is that, what I'm saying? It's like,
And I
so
don't remember it. Is
yeah,
that what happened? Hopefully I'm not part of this. I don't know.
yeah, well, I haven't heard anyone doing that, so, and yeah, as
All
far as
right.
I know, and your wife keeps good tabs on you, so
She
I don't.
does. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
might be
so
a monitor or something. I don't know.
yeah. So when the paperwork for MK Ultra came out, his name was in there, but a lot of what he had done was redacted. And hopefully
Mm.
maybe they'll release all. I think that's the next thing Trump needs to release is what did MK Ultra do?
Yeah.
Really? Like because there's a lot of speculation. Like enough of stuff was unredacted that we know it involved with hypnosis, mind control, LSD and stuff. So, and that's what this guy was all about. Um, he conducted a bunch of brainwashing of Korean War POWs, leading the exoneration of 36 airmen who were accused of treason. Uh, he he later his academic career he was a full professor and chair of psychiatry at the University of Oklahoma. He was also the chair psychiatrist at UCLA.
He's an
But
academic.
yeah, he's an
Yeah.
academic, and uh, he led controversial plans for a center to study violence, which was blocked due to public concerns about unethical practices.
Mm.
Because he did all these, like, he had a lot of documentation about using LSD. Um, here's where we get to some interesting stuff. Like he used LSD, tried to use it as a way to control people. Uh, During the hippie movement, he started a clinic, basically a free clinic in the San Francisco Height Asbury area,
Okay.
which was the height of the hippies
Yeah.
area.
That's the hippie
And
home.
when they were giving out LSD.
Oh, just
Uh,
passing it out to see what would
yeah,
happen.
like, well, they were a free clinic helping people, but you find out he was involved in LSD. He was also an expert on cults and mind control for the government. He was someone they consulted for like Heaven's Gate. He served on the advisory board for anti-cult organizations and the False Memory Syndrome Foundation.
Yeah.
He also studied the Manson family, which we're going to get into a little bit
Right.
more.
So he's done
Uh,
a lot.
so human now, and he also was active in the civil rights movement and
Yeah.
participated in a lot of sit-ins and rallies. He opposed the death penalty. He traveled to South Africa multiple times to testify against apartheid era human rights abuses. So he seems like, oh yes, he's a good dude, man. He's studying these things, trying to stop
Right.
bad stuff.
It seems like he's trying to. Yeah.
Now let's see where his life takes a dark, weird, strange turn. So the first one that we come across is after JFK died, was murdered, assassinated. Lee Harvey Oswald's leaving his to go for an arraignment, and Jack Ruby decides to shoot and kill him.
Yeah.
No one to this day understands why, and Jack Ruby could never truly explain why he did it. I mean, he made some
Yeah.
weird statements like he killed our president, but if you look at Jack Ruby, he didn't. He was not pro Kennedy in
Right.
any way. He never was.
Right.
Um, so it never made sense why he did it. But in walks Jolly West. He evaluated Jack Ruby after Jack Ruby had been seen by other psychiatrists and deemed fit for trial. Jack Ruby, Jolly West shows up Jack Ruby to talk with Jack Ruby, and he deems him, now this guy's psychotic and delusional. After his meeting with Dr. West, other psychiatrists in were like, well, he had some kind of psychotic break.
Yeah.
And suddenly Jack Ruby is not fit for trial and
Mm.
is deemed a lunatic and is sent to a psychiatric ward for the rest of his life, which wasn't that long. Ended up dying of cancer. And but the thing is, first guy he evaluates is Dr. West. For some reason, is sent down after he's already been. Now remember, he's been viewed by other psychiatrists and deemed fit for trial.
Right.
Dr. West shows up for some reason, evaluates him for about an hour, comes out, is like, this guy's insane. Other psychiatrists come in, and now suddenly Jack Ruby is insane. Like he's not acting the way he was 24 hours prior.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And he's deemed, so it's like you look it up, it's like a switch somehow, like,
Right.
could it involve LSD? Did he get tripped out on LSD? Did he like take something that messed him up? Because I understand LSD, like if you take too much of it, it can really screw you over.
Yeah.
And so
And the guy that happened to evaluate him just was an expert on the substance. So that kind of, yeah, that's suspicious.
yeah, it's very odd. Now, the 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 next group of individuals that are it's very strange is in walks Charlie Manson. Charlie Manson was a criminal. Like he had a criminal past. He
Yeah.
got out of jail. Somehow, after being out a year from prison, he makes his way to Haight Asbury.
Hmm.
He's hanging out in San Francisco. He somehow scores some good LSD. He somehow then convinces all these women to become his girls or wives. Then some dudes starts convincing them all to follow him.
Mhm.
He's not in any way a brilliant individual,
Right.
but he has contact with Dr. Jolly West. Jolly West, who is a understands LSD, studies hypnosis, studies mind control, studies cults. The Manson family uses the Haight Asbury um, free clinic for all their needs. Because the ladies, multiple of them got pregnant from Charles Manson, they would go
Right.
there for and
Right.
other stuff.
Yeah.
So he had direct contact with Charles Manson. Now, when you look into what Charles Manson ended up doing with the murders, all the people involved before they went and did it got hooked or hyped up on LSD. They all took LSD before they went and killed these people. And they killed, obviously the famous one, uh, Roman Polanski's wife and all of their friends, but they also killed some other people too. Like there was another across town, and at first it was kind of like, what's going on? Now, the interesting thing now with Charles Manson is when he got out of prison, he broke parole multiple times,
Right.
and his parole officer never reported him. But the parole officer was also a former military guy, and he had connections with Dr. West as well. So we got that. It's a very weird
Weird,
connection.
weird connection to this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but no one ever, that's where okay, well, it's coincidence. Okay. Jack Ruby, now Charles Manson. That
I gotta admit, it doesn't
wins.
sound coincidental to me. Like it's two men. It's, yeah. What are the odds, right?
Yeah. Next, we have Patricia Hearst and Patty Hearst.
So she's the
She,
one with the newspaper, right?
yeah, she's the newspaper heiress who was kidnapped by the SLA in 1974 and committed the bank robbery. Well, when she went to trial, Hearst family got a hold of Dr. West, and he was a psychiatrist expert for her, and tried to convince that she was coerced, brainwashed, all this stuff. However, she was found guilty, but he was connected to this high profile case, another high profile case, but he was unable to get her off. She eventually was paroled, and I believe she was pardoned later in life. But he's the one who came up with like basically the Stockholm syndrome. It was him. He was the one that she, was like pushing this.
Mm.
Now, the very last that we know for sure he was involved with is this one. And this is it's sad and it's very bizarre, but there was an airman down in Lackland Air Force Base, I believe in
Mhm.
Texas. And his name was Jimmy Shaver. Now, Jimmy Shaver was, by all accounts, an amazing guy, great guy, had no prior issues in any way, shape, or form. Everyone loved him. Super like salt of the earth, love this guy. Well, one day, uh, they find his car on the side of the road. People, this little girl's gone missing. She's 3 years old. He comes wandering out of the woods, covered in her blood.
Mm.
Doesn't remember how he got there. They doesn't know why he's there. Doesn't know where the blood came. Can't remember anything about what happened to him.
Yeah.
Well, they find her body, and he had killed her.
Oh, wow.
And so it's horrible, but he was like everyone who found him. He was in this trance-like state, couldn't figure out. Uh, and I mean, other than that, there was blood on him, but there was no motive. He had no connection to this family. He
Mm.
had there was no reason for him to do it. Like I said, and he had no prior incidences. So like nothing about this made any sense.
Right.
And for some reason, Dr. West shows up. for this trial.
Huh.
He hypnotizes Jimmy Shaver, and under hypnosis and some other drugs that he gave Jimmy, Jimmy confesses to the murder.
Whoa.
That all becomes, they allow it in court as his testimony. He then is put to death.
Hmm. Wow.
He claims that he before he died, like, he still, like, I did not do this, but he was taught through or he's told under the influence of that he did. A lot of people wonder if he had met Dr. West before, didn't realize it, was put under hypnosis, LSD, whatever, and told to do something. He then did it. And then, West is like cleaning his mess up. Yeah, you did it. You just, and he was known also on some other cases that they did, not trial cases, but other cases. He was able to, through his studies, and this is the part that's really funny, is like he was able to get this guy to admit he murdered someone. And I think the guy did, but I don't know, the fact that he was dazed, had no idea why. I feel there
Yeah.
was a trigger of some kind.
Yeah.
But Dr. West demonstrated after these incidences that he was able to suggest things to people who would then remember these things, but they had never done any of the things. He was able to show which is interesting because he then kind of showed, well, you can't use hypnosis in a trial because it could be a suggested memory. But he had just got a guy put to death like
Wow.
15 years earlier.
Yeah.
In the 70s, and this was now in the 80s when he was showing, well, this is like, dude, you literally. And so it's like, so I don't know if he had like, I got to show, like, but he never admitted to any of it. So eventually, Dr. West is now dead, but
Hmm.
I find it interesting that this one dude was involved in all these high profile cases,
Yeah.
and all of which involved some sort of psychological
Yeah.
issue. All involved, not all, but probably all did. We don't know Jack Ruby had some kind of psychotic break,
Yeah.
which could have been LSD induced. We know the Manson family used LSD, and
Mm-hmm.
people talked about Charlie Manson being very hypnotic, able to put people under his thing. And people, like, one suggestion is that perhaps West taught him how to do this
Right.
as part of his, because he studied cults. He wanted to see, oh, can you do this? Can you get them to do this? Can you get to
Right.
that? I don't necessarily know, but maybe I kind of feel like he probably did push to, like, see if you can get them to kill some people,
Right. As an experiment.
because,
How far can you take this? Yeah.
yeah, because that was really what MKUltra was all about, was trying to convince people to kill people and forget they had done it.
Yeah.
It's kind of the basis for the series, The Bourne Identity,
Yeah.
where there's trigger words,
Yeah.
treadstone, and like,
Treadstone. Yeah.
oh, sorry, he said the word. I had to calm down. I went crazy. That's my
I
trigger.
I thought it was like Alpha Romeo
Don't say the
watermelon.
next one. Don't stop. I will break my computer. No, but no, it's like, so what are your thoughts on this dude? I mean, I put it out
I
there, like,
I think this guy is honestly sounds like bad news. Like he's associated with so many like weird things. I agree. Like I'm sure some of it is just that he got known in some kind of high power circle or something, and people are
yeah,
like, "Oh yeah, you need a psychologist." But I don't know. It's weird that it's all connected. I feel
yeah,
like maybe even if he wasn't necessarily doing all the bad stuff. I mean, obviously did some of it because it's
mhm,
documented. But like maybe other people that wanted to do bad stuff wanted to be
mhm,
involved with them, right? To do it.
yeah,
Yeah,
and,
I'm highly suspicious. Honestly, that's weird. That's really, really weird. The first
yeah,
time I've
well,
heard this guy, but that's odd.
yeah, and the more you, like, read about, and there's articles about him, and what I was finding interesting is, as I searched for him, I was finding articles, but they weren't connecting them. Like,
Right,
you'd type in and you'd see, oh, Patty Hearst, and it'd
right,
talk about what he did for Patty Hearst. And then you
right,
say, oh, Jack Ruby, and you'd see what he did with Jack Ruby. And then you're like, oh, this Jimmy Shaver. Oh, oh, the Haight Asbury free clinic. And I was like, what is a psychiatrist doing opening a free medical clinic in Haight Asbury in the height? And then
Right.
he just, and then somehow he has connections to Charles Manson and all this other stuff. And it just, and he, like I said, he's part of MKUltra, which that was the whole idea. Try and get people to kill people
Right.
under hypnosis and under these things.
Right.
And that's basically what Charles Manson did. Like even
Yeah.
like the
That one, I
Manson,
feel like there was something going on there.
like yeah, I know that was like he had perfected it. He figured it out.
Mhm. Yeah.
And then I think for me personally, I think once he saw that he was able to teach somebody else to do it,
Yeah.
he wanted to try it. And I think that's where the Jimmy Shaver comes in.
That
Because
makes
Jimmy
sense.
Shaver's in it, like, I'm going to see if I can get, like, because I think what his thought was, okay, well, we were able to get these hippies, which were like kind of outcasts and kind of
Right.
like maybe, but what can I get an actual military guy to do?
Right. Yes.
Something horrendous. And he
Yeah.
did. And,
Yeah.
and the guy did.
Yeah.
Um,
No,
and
I could totally buy it. Like, I mean, I don't have any evidence on either side, but it seems like he was there. It's like he just wanted to see how far he could push it, right? Like how,
yeah,
yeah, because
yeah,
he was clearly paid for however many years, right, to do it officially for the
yeah.
government, right?
And he was a consultant for the CIA, all the way up until I think into the mid to late 80s,
Oh, wow.
when he
Wow.
retired.
Yeah.
And um, so he had been doing this for quite a while.
Yeah.
And it was interesting that, yeah, I guess, if you're a well-known psychiatrist, they may get you, but I found it weird that uh in the Jack Ruby incident, he'd already been seen by psychiatrists,
Right.
and no one called Dr. West to come. Like the judge wasn't like, well, let's get Dr. West.
Right.
It's like
Right. He just
he
kind of
just
showed up.
showed up.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, like Lyndon, I don't know that's Lyndon, but I'm gonna blame Lyndon because we are getting that 80,000 pages of stuff coming out.
Right.
And I did download the PDF. I it'll probably take me 30 years to read this. No,
You did some reading. Yeah.
yeah, no, there is some, ways that people are going through it, but I did download the 80,000
No, I
pages.
have not done it yet. I want to like load it into like a search engine so you can like
Yeah, that's what
order.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to find something that can do that. And
Yeah.
then just sort of keywords. And I do know that some people have claimed that they found some things about like like a splinter cell within the CIA.
I saw a
And
report on that came out and said,
yeah,
but it was kind of vague. Like I read
yeah,
this,
very vague.
it's kind of vague. Yeah.
Yeah, but I still think Dulles is somehow involved.
Hmm.
And I still think Lyndon Johnson is ultimately he was like the do it.
Right.
And yeah. Like
What if it was Ladybird? I don't know. We should search
yeah.
for Ladybird in this.
Yeah, because Lady Bird does sound like a hunting dog. She's out to get hunt stuff, man.
That's right.
That's what I mean. Like she's probably a sweet lady. Like,
Probably
cause
is.
usually like when the husband is like an absolute jerk,
Right.
like the wife is amazing. Like your wife, she's so
Right.
amazing. And
That's how you know. Yeah. It's so true.
and same with my wife. She's like,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, she's so sweet.
He's so
Yeah,
nice.
I've
Yeah.
met Ken. That's why.
I mean, he wears the hats. We know
Yeah,
that's hiding up something. We just can't
yeah.
talk about it. Yeah.
So you're with me on this one. You think this guy is
I think there's
pretty?
something to it. I mean, it's so, it's too many coincidences. I feel at some point it's like, how many things did you mention? I lost track. Like five, six things that are like
Well, like
pretty prominent.
like it was well, you got like the major ones where
Yeah.
um
Like his career,
yeah,
right? It's
yeah,
big.
well, MK Ultra. Then you
Yeah.
got that the Jack Ruby, and I
Jack
also
Ruby.
actually kind of feel that um he may have been involved with getting Oswald to be part of the patsy, and perhaps Oswald, to make sure he wouldn't talk in any way,
Yeah.
they had him killed by Jack Ruby, and then Jack
Right.
Ruby, you're insane.
Right.
Um, like because I think it was
Mhm.
they were like, because and here's what some people, why didn't they just kill Lee Harvey? I think it was easier to have a random dude like Jack Ruby just kill him as opposed to him, because he was probably under way more guard because that's the guy who did it. But I
Yeah.
don't even think that Lee Harvey was alone. Like I think we talked about
Yeah,
previously.
I
He
think
didn't
we
act
solved that
alone.
one. Even
Yeah,
before the JFK files were released,
yeah.
I think we
It's
solved
Lyndon and stuff, but he was a patsy. He was part of the plan.
it. Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that was involved. I think it's interesting that Patricia Hearst, he was involved in that, and then I said this Jimmy Shaver one, which I had never heard of
Yeah.
until I started researching, because that was in. I was like, what other high profile trials did Jolly West show up to? And it was this one, and it was again, and it, like I said, the weird thing was they allowed the testimony that was under
Yeah.
hypnosis to be evidence. And
Bizarre.
then literally 15 years later, he shows that you can't trust hypnosis as evidence
Right.
because he showed how he convinced people they had either been somewhere or done something and gave them a memory
That's
through
great.
hypnosis.
Yeah.
And so it's like, so maybe Jimmy Shaver may not have even killed the girl. She may have been killed and he was the plant. And they were
Right.
going to see if
Oh,
we can convince, like how.
yeah.
So like there's a lot there.
There's a
Um,
lot there.
like because maybe it's like we couldn't get him to do it, but we could frame him for it.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. The rabbit hole
And
gets deeper.
yeah, I mean there's a lot there. I mean,
Yeah.
this whole this guy just I'm glad he's one. I feel bad saying this, but I'm glad he's not still alive. Like
I would worry. Yeah.
there are a few people in history that I'm like, that, Hitler, Stalin,
Don't need Hitler.
Rasputin,
Yeah.
uh, and now Jolly West. I'm
Yeah.
glad he's not alive
Jolly
out there.
West out there getting people to do things maybe that
Yeah.
they shouldn't have been doing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Which
Like for instance, how did you decide to do this podcast with me? You don't even
I
remember.
don't even remember
Like
when it started.
you were
Yeah.
just like, I was told to sit here and do this podcast. And
Yeah.
so here I am.
That's
Maybe I've
exactly what
learned,
happened.
watch my hand. Just
Right.
watch it.
And why yeah. Why are you in a cave? We don't
Yeah.
understand what's
Yeah.
going
The
on behind you.
bunker, my
Yeah.
bunker. Yeah.
Your
Nobody knows what's
bunker.
going on. Do you see the scary face to my side right here? Look at that.
Oh wait. No, what? Oh, I do see part of it. What is it?
Yeah, it's part of my hypnotic thing to
Oh,
keep you
okay.
coming back. I'll
Gotcha.
show you later. But yeah, I just noticed it was there and I was like, wow, that's kind of freaky. There's like a weird face behind me. But I know what it is, but I just don't know why it's there of all
Yeah.
places.
Well, it
So
was you were told to put it there. So
yeah, I was. Somebody told me to.
yeah, could have been Jolly.
Jolly West.
Jolly
No.
West.
Yeah.
Maybe he faked his own death.
I mean, I do find his name ironic.
It
That
is kind of funny that he's
jo-
like not the merchant of happiness, probably.
no, he's not at all.
Yeah.
Like very strange.
Yeah.
So I think that's an interesting thing. People can now go down the rabbit hole and try and
Yeah.
find out more. I'm sure if I keep researching, there's probably even more stuff that
Right.
and we can find about this guy. Uh, I don't know if I want to find out more because like I didn't want to go into great detail about the Jimmy Shaver thing, but it like there's a lot of detail about what happened there, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's like they went into like all the evidence. I didn't need all that evidence. Like it's pretty horrific.
But I bet our listeners probably are going to piece this together for us, right? Like we're providing little
Yeah.
stitches, little
Well,
patchwork
yeah,
of information, and they're gonna figure it out.
yeah. Well, see, that's kind of what I also like. I'm hoping with what we're doing. Like, I know like some people have commented that like on the moon landing one, we didn't get into a lot of detail about the math behind the moon landing and this,
We
that,
should do that.
and some of the flawed math and that people say there's flaws in it. But for me, I don't think we need to do that. Because I think our listeners are smart enough that they can go do it themselves. And
Yeah.
secondly, I'm not that good at math.
Yeah, they can
And
send us the equations and we'll
yeah,
just
and they
flash them up on the
like
screen.
I think our job is to present the different conspiracies, and you either are like that's stupid or that's kind of strange.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then they can research even more and be like, hey, you missed this, and like I promise you, I probably did miss some stuff, but but then it gives them something fun to do, like
Yeah.
go look and become
Well, yeah.
an amateur detective and get the answers themselves.
I agree. I mean, we are launching careers here on this
Yeah,
podcast for people that
yeah,
could write books about this stuff. You don't know.
yeah. Like
We may
maybe
have done
this,
more good than we realized.
yeah, like maybe someone will now hear this and be like, you know what? I want to do the documentary on this guy and put it all together instead
Yeah.
of the people who are just doing individually. Like Dr. West was involved in this. It's like, well, he was involved in all of this,
Right.
like so.
Well, I think
Because
we need
like,
to expose. Maybe, if one of these production companies wants to, watch this and then they'll be inspired, right?
yeah,
To do it. We can have this on the air next year. We'll get
yeah,
royalties, right? Like big
I
royalties.
will. I don't know about you
I'm not gonna get anything.
because you admitted you didn't do any research on
I
this.
didn't. I wanted to like come in like fresh debunking,
Fresh.
kind of
Oh yeah.
unbiased. Yeah.
And then by the end I convinced you he's a
I
bad
was
man.
convinced. I feel like I want the documentary to be done for real. Like I think
Yeah.
somebody should do the second one and go deeper.
Yeah, go real like yeah, maybe I'll do that like
Yeah.
on my free time
Yeah,
because I
you
have
got
some
yeah.
now.
Yes.
So what I was in like I know I suggested this, but I had some thoughts for our next episode.
Oh, I'm
Um
excited.
so like unless do you have something you really want to dive into?
I don't because I feel like
Because
you've done a lot of the big ones, but I know you're more well versed, so there's probably
well
something I'm not well aware
there's
of.
a hot topic going on right now,
Oh,
and it's what's going on with the pyramids in Egypt. And I don't know if you've seen some of the posts that are going around, but there's some weird stuff.
aren't there some pyramids somewhere else that mirror those pyramids? That's what
Well,
I've.
there are, but there's some new lidar and some ground penetrating, which is the lidar radar stuff that they found stuff that they just now discovered that is making people go, "What the heck is that about? What is going on?"
Oh, we've got
And
to do this
yeah,
episode then,
so
and I will
I
bring
was
more
thinking,
equations. Yeah.
yeah, so I was thinking we can look into it, and there's already I already have some thoughts on who may have really built them, and why, and what's going on underneath them. And so
This we
it's
have to do. What was the person who did this Jolly? Just give us a clue. Was he Jolly?
no, it wasn't.
No,
But the
it
thing
was not.
is, this is what's weird. It's not just being put out there by weird, crazy conspiracy guys like me. It's actually been like on BBC. It's
Okay.
making it on like this discovery is like a legit like people are like,
Yeah,
what is this?
hard
Like,
evidence. Yeah,
yeah, this is like not just some guys like came up with this. I think this is under there's a canal and it leads to Atlantis. It's like not some like weird, it is weird, but it's not
right,
some crazy, like just made up thing. It's like,
right.
it's really like these people have discovered this and they're like, they can't figure out what it is. And I talked to some family members who are not really into conspiracy and they're like asking me, what is this? What's going on? What do you know about it? And I'm like, well, you'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we're gonna reveal all this next
Yeah.
week, which is gonna
Maybe
be.
I am currently underneath the pyramids right now. Maybe that's where my bunker is.
Are you showing up in the lidar? Is
Yeah,
that why you're
like
wearing the
they're
hat?
like well, there we in the lidar we see a guy like sitting there with a microphone, and it's weird. And sometimes he's wearing a hat, sometimes he's not. We don't understand who he is,
Right.
but he seems to
We're
like
solving the
folklore.
mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
This is amazing. Ken, you are the answer. You might be the key to it all.
yeah,
If you think like that's the final reveal, like as we go around, like slowly we're going to build up to the fact that you actually are sort of the source of all these things. I don't
yeah.
know.
Maybe I am maybe my real name is Jolly West, and I'm connected to everything.
Oh my gosh.
I,
That's going to be a great episode when it happens.
and then they'll do a whole documentary about me, and it'll be like the most boring documentary ever, and they'll show me like sitting in my pool out back just drinking a lemonade. It's like, wait, so that it's like, dude, at least do some crunches, you know.
Right. Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah, so
Like
so there's some
maybe
eye candy for the ladies because it's like it's not this is, nobody wants to see that.
or maybe like you're so powerful, you're like with the lemonade and then you like move your right pinky and it's like the Thanos snap and like stuff happens, right? So
Yeah,
could be that.
yeah. Oh
Oh,
no, you're still here.
all
Oh
right.
well,
That's
I'm
good.
not that
Yeah.
strong.
I'll tell my wife that she'll be
Yeah.
happy, I think.
Wait, maybe your wife's not there now.
Oh no, I gotta talk to her. She's
You
on
gotta
the wrong
go wait.
timeline.
Yeah.
That's gonna mess up our dinner plans.
Yeah, because she's supposed to make dinner tonight.
Yeah, she was.
Oh well. Oh well, peanut butter and jelly.
I mean, I
All
would
right.
cook for the family, but we don't want to kill them, and then nobody would remember what happened, and
Yeah.
it all connects
Uh,
somehow. I'm sure.
yeah. Well, I think we've done it. Another brilliant episode by us.
Oh, this has been amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
for us at least. I don't know
Yeah.
about for
Yeah.
anybody else.
Well, hopefully the listeners are now piqued and want to find out more about MK Ultra and Jolly West and search it. Like it is actually fun. It's a fun rabbit hole to like. This
Yeah.
kind of one was an interesting one because, like I said, it was like what every time I looked at more about them. I was like, but
All right.
so
Well, thanks everybody
yeah,
for another week, and I guess we'll see you next
next
week.
week. See ya.
See ya.
Counter to intelligence.